Hello and welcome. This is Jeff Smith, creator, writer, director of Stella B and the Busted League. And this is an audio commentary on our very first episode. I am here with two very good friends of mine who are.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Tiner. I played Stella B.
I'm
Hey, there's me.
I'm Daniel Tuttel. I played Paul, the lovable, goofy, bearded guy.
Jocelyn, I'm sure you remember, but we had to shoot this little intro of yours 3 times. The first couple of times there was some technical problem I don't remember, but I knew this was going to be the first thing anybody saw, so I really wanted to get it right. And you were very nice to redo this.
In my incredibly cluttered apartment. That's real clutter.
No, I always really appreciated you letting us shoot at your place. It just made things so much easier. And here is
There's creepy Joey. Looks like he's debating whether he wants to break into the comic store.
The inimitable Joey D.
Yes.
So this is, of course, Titan Comics in Dallas, Texas, where we shot a whole bunch of stuff for this web series. Owned and operated by my old pal, Jeremy Shore, who allowed us to come here many times and film. Anytime we are inside the store, that means it was a Sunday morning and usually very early, because that was the only day the store was closed.
Around the neighborhood as much as she wants, and I don't have to worry about her dropping a litter.
Slut. That's funny.
So I think it's kind of funny that we introduce a couple of things here that never come up again, like the fact that Stella has a cat.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Stella's apartment several times. We never see a cat.
Cat's hiding.
He is kind of
Cat's antisocial.
It's
I forgot she had a cat.
If anybody watches The Flash on the CW, they had a pet turtle on that show. And like after they showed it for like 4 episodes, and you never see that turtle again. Even when you see their apartment, that turtle is nowhere to be found. So I just think of that like all of a sudden it's just it's somewhere.
Yeah.
And also, Stella wears glasses in this episode, which we never did again.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I
Props.
remember that. Yeah.
And this is Jerry Monroe, who was a friend of mine. I worked with him at Heritage Comics. And he mentioned to me that he had some acting experience, and so I was like, hey, come be in my web show.
Jocelyn Everett, Ben Bryant, Laura Jennings. I don't know who that guy is. Alexis Neighbors.
So most of the music for this series, about 90% or so, was done by a guy named Andy Waldron. Andy was the son of an old friend of mine, and just a super talented kid who could do basically many different styles of music. So I got in touch with him and talked to him about collaborating on this project, and he was down for it. And we went round and round on a few different variations on this theme tune until we got it just right. Andy's work is just fantastic throughout the entire series. I can't say enough good things about it. It's one of the elements that to me most sort of elevates the show, and it's always really good stuff. So ignore that clock behind Ray there that says it's 10 minutes to noon. He just opened the store, so it can't be that late.
You ever take a look at the run of little dot covers back in the 70s?
That little dot comic he's reading is actually from 1964, not from the 70s. Shh! Don't tell anybody. This little convention sequence coming up was something we put together. There was a location we used. Stephanie, our producer, was a teacher at this school, and they had this really nice big sort of auditorium activity room, and we set up that this little sort of faux convention. Filmed it there, and it really worked out pretty well.
Got $20 in store credit.
Do you still have that shirt, Jocelyn?
That's not even minimum wage,
No, I think it got Con-Maried.
I like how Doc is like this weird like godfather of this comic book store.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody just kind of comes to him.
Yeah, he was
And,
supposed
like,
to be
sits
there.
down.
He was supposed to be their Gandalf.
Yeah.
I thought you were working today.
Like I love like when you see Laura later on and like come in and sit with him, and it's just like we should have had just a round table, all of us just sitting down with him as like this weird running gag.
That would have been funny.
And like one point it's like, oh, you come here for a favor.
You're not listening to the website.
And this the day of my comic book release.
Jocelyn, you do look adorable with glasses. We should have kept doing that.
Do you wear glasses, Jocelyn? Okay.
I wear contacts most of the time. Glasses make my depth perception weird, so so I only wear them like right before bed when I'm reading. Like I'm never in them.
My son wants to. Oh, there's me, my best Marlon Brando impression.
Hmm.
If you're gonna name a character Stella, you got to get this joke out of the way right up
Yeah.
front.
I appreciate that my last name was Blunt, but I wasn't a pothead.
Yes. Yes.
And this was me at parties. This is exactly not about the debt, but like just like, oh hey, have you seen Lost?
And that's your apartment, right, Dan? Wasn't that your apartment?
Yeah. Oh my God, it is my apartment.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh my God, yeah, we still have that same photo that's behind the TV. It's to the left of me here. Oh my, I didn't realize the first time I watched this again that was my apartment. Yeah.
That's funny.
Can I see?
Yeah, I held on to that "Chicks Hate Me" shirt for quite a while. Like I said, I didn't wear it in public though because I felt very awkward wearing it.
That is a shirt that the actual Paul, who you are based on, used to wear all the time.
Those are awesome.
Now I will say, fun fact about those goggles: I could not see a thing in those goggles.
Oh, I think I know. I think
saw
I remember that. Yeah.
The narrow sight that I had in that thing, I don't even know if I was looking at Ben when you're shooting me. I'm probably like trying to find him. Like when I think I'm supposed to be reading something on the paper, I'm like,
Uncool, man.
oh my God, I look right into my lines.
Well, you hide it well, sir.
Thank you. Oh my God, it took a while to get used to them, dude. Just because I was like, oh my God, my sight is so bad in these things.
Well, and it's I felt a little bad. They were obviously really tight because when you take them off, there's like big impressions.
Oh
in your forehead.
yeah, it's just white all
Yeah.
around here.
America.
It worked.
America.
What are you hitting me?
On this first day, Ben Bryant came in and he was sick as a dog. I know he had like a viral infection or a bad flu or something. And he powered through. I mean, you know, I know you actors do a lot of different things because the show must go on. And you know, he drank some tea or something, but you know, we made it through. But I felt bad for the guy.
Your brain, when an actor is in character, their brain stops sending the pain signal. But that's why that happens.
Yeah, that's wild.
He'll get over it.
And Jocelyn, your mother-in-law is about to come on screen. There she is. That's her arm. Mary Tiner, Jocelyn's mother-in-law, although not at the time yet.
Hey, Gordo.
It was very nice to come in and be an extra for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just been all morning. What's the deal, man? It's just
And then the cool space phone.
seriously?
She's getting lots of information about what comics to buy her son.
Yeah, it's like
her little boy Danny.
He'll be
Right.
here at 12.
I like the concept that she's telling the comic book owner what's wrong with the comics he's put up. She's a very knowledgeable
No,
person.
I sort of had in my head that he's putting the moves on her.
I
He's a little older than most
Well,
of his
yeah, I'm
clientele,
sure,
so
like-
he's thinking, hey, I'm in there.
I doubt a lot of older women walk into this comic book shop, and so he's like, "Oh yeah,
What are you going to say no to Mary Tiner? Come on.
yeah, right. Hello,
That
ladies."
Jason guy dumping you. None of us could stand that guy anyway. I mean, what kind of idiot thinks?
Now, was the Freddy Krueger style sweater on purpose?
That's just what Ben picked to wear.
Okay.
I like how our colors complement each other, though. We ended up taking photos in our outfits from this day in front of the comic book store for promotions.
Yeah.
And so that's that big group shot.
Yeah.
And it looks like we had a costumer,
Yeah.
I think.
Totally did not. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all just saw what was the comic book owner's name? The guy playing the comic book owner, Ray.
Oh,
Ray?
Ray was the character. Jerry
Ray,
Monroe was
right,
the actor. Yeah.
What was the name of the actor?
Jerry Monroe.
Jerry. I'm pretty sure when you see him behind Jocelyn walking to us, he looks directly into the camera.
I don't think Jerry had done a lot of film work. I'm not sure about that, but he'd done a lot of stage.
I mean, he was great, but it's like he just looks right down at the camera. I'm like, haha,
Yeah.
Kai.
Hey, that's
There's-
my cupcake holder.
Oh, that was your cupcake.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Mhm.
about that.
I love
And that was my.
I still have it.
That was my BFF, Mark Stokes, talking to Ray there.
it. Oh, nice. And this is my good friend Vaughn that's about to
Yeah.
give her a check. Hey, Vaughn.
Hello, Hyde. Wondering when the cupcake would arrive.
So, how are you?
So again, we just had a rotation of us just sitting with Doc and him never being able to finish the comic.
A lot of bats.
Well, the thing is, the scripts were written based on an earlier location that Titan was in, which had a big couch, and that always seemed to make perfect sense that everybody would just lounge around on this couch. These two chairs always seemed kind of random to me, but yeah, it's okay. It works fine.
You're right. I will never guess.
Especially because it's in front of a desk.
Yeah.
Which is so like, yeah. Imagine just doing work there and like two random people are reading comics, and you're like you're like calling vendors and like trying to get things done. Like, hey man, can you?
Well, and you can't tell from the show, but I mean, there was very little room in front of them before you hit the next row of comics.
I remember the artistry of filming. And this comic book store took a lot of I think when you see Jocelyn walking in, I think you were on top of like a bookshelf or something, weren't you?
Oh yes, yeah, I was. Yeah, I
or
was.
they had a ladder or something you were on. You were on something, and I think I was holding the ladder if it was a ladder, because I think I was trying to help out. Or I was holding the bookshelf. There was something you were on. I remember I had to help hold something that you were filming on, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I got up on a big ladder.
Yeah, I think I was one of the ones holding that ladder.
No, you weren't, because you were in the shot.
Was I? Oh, I remember holding the ladder for you on something.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it was the one where me and Ben looked up a little bit ago at Ray. It was
maybe
because that was from above.
I don't remember if I was on the ladder for that or not, but it might have been. Yeah.
I don't know how else you would have gotten up there. Just flew.
Held the camera up above my head.
He put it on a balloon and like an up style and let it float up in the air.
Yeah. We didn't have drones yet.
This was kind of a tricky scene, but Laura and Ben just did a beautiful job with this.
Besides, you are pretty.
The whole
the blinking
beginnings of
always say no to creepy con guys. It's a good motto for life.
None of whom are worthy of you, by the way.
Come on, Mama needs some play.
Stop calling yourself Mom.
Right, we gotta stop doing that thing where we just laugh at the show. I hate comedy.
Stinky Pete's doing pretty well for himself.
I love the Mama needs some play.
Yeah. Oh, I love "You're of No Use to Me." That was my favorite.
Oh yeah,
my favorite line.
Sure, I'll watch your
Sure, I'll watch your purse.
See, and mine stop calling yourself Mama.
Yeah, that's my buddy Josh. There's Mark again. This almost was a promo, because what I did for the promos is I pulled out like little sort of isolated jokes, and I almost pulled this one out, but I'm glad I left it in the actual episode. This is something I realized working at Heritage Comics, because I process books, and I just, every Richie Rich cover, he's like showing off to these poor friends of his. And I was like, geez, Richie's kind of a dick. They don't, your friends are poor, Richie, stop showing off.
That was one tough little devil.
I love any kind of Dan Joey scene.
Oh yeah, I loved working with Joey. Joey's just the sweetest guy. He was a blast to work with.
Go apologize to Paul.
No.
Go apologize to Paul.
No.
All right.
No.
No.
You're in trouble. We got to go to the other side of the store.
You were mean to me, Doc.
And this corner was a pain, because the next shop over was a restaurant, and we kept getting all these weird noises coming through the wall. It's like random metallurgy sounds. It's just strange.
You just hear, "Get out."
Bitch. What do you think she wants?
The movies and TV.
Well, this is stuff I love about this kind of filmmaking, where you really have to kind of use your wits and really just go for it and figure out, like, okay, we're gonna do this shot and this is how it's gonna be done, and it is what it is. And sometimes that's just that to me, that is fun filmmaking in a lot of ways. It's stressful at the time, but like watching it back, you're like, what we were able to do is really exciting and really cool.
What I'm curious about is that if people who had never been to Titan and certainly were not there filming, I wonder if this store seems as small to them, to somebody just watching randomly, as it did to me, because I always felt this place was so tiny, and it was hard to sort of get a feel for making it seem larger than it was.
Well, the aisles were, if I remember, the aisles are like kind of the aisles were kind of like thin. And so it was also like when you're like looking at a book, because I remember like while y'all were shooting stuff, I would be looking through the shelves at some comics, and when y'all didn't need me, and I just remember having to like press against sometimes when somebody would walk by.
Oh, really quick! Look how completely and utterly empty, this parking lot being reflected. They're supposed to be at a convention, and there is no
Well,
one there.
it hasn't opened. She's there early for the Walking Dead
Right.
panel. She's
And
there early.
all the people taking her picture are all the same people that were in line for Doc earlier, because that was shot on the same day. Yeah, I was as clueless about fashion then as I am today. And when Alexis came in with these socks pulled up above her boots, I was like, okay, if that's what the young ladies are doing these days, go for it.
Hey, there's me.
Hey, there's you.
I'm way too close to Lex. I know it's to get the shot,
Yeah.
but good. That is so creepy.
It's not good. You're old friends.
I know. We're old friends. But man, it's just like, especially where her head, it's so awkward.
So right after this scene, in the original script, Stella and Becky went out to take a smoke break, and then Doc came out and hassled them because they were smoking. But I remember you, Jocelyn, told me something pretty early on about that you didn't think you could smoke realistically.
Yeah. I don't even remember that scene being in there, but I vaguely remember this conversation because I can't. Like,
Well, I just thought it was funny because when does an actor ever tell you they can't do something? You know, most of the time it's like, oh yeah, can you ride horseback? Oh yeah, absolutely. Can you rappel down the side of a skyscraper? Oh yeah, absolutely. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
So I
Look.
thought your honesty was kind of funny that you were like, no, I really was like, I'll try, but it's not going to look good.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is not gonna be what you're picturing.
Exactly.
This scene with Joey and me is by far one of my favorite scenes that we shot.
It is also where I learned a lesson about overshooting, because we did this so many times.
We did a lot of takes of this,
and then going through the footage afterwards, I'm like, well, which take do I use? Because this one's not much better than that one. They're all good, and yeah, I just ended up with too much footage. So I would kind of keep that more in mind.
You Scorsese'd the scene.
Yeah. No, I Peter Jackson'd it.
There you go. Yeah.
Apparently,
You're looking back,
going, he apparently does like 30 takes on it.
This is taking me forever to look through these. What was really wrong with the first two?
Yeah, what was I thinking? Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's definitely that scene, and the $23,000 in credit card debt are definitely some of my favorite scenes from this first episode. Of just yelling at a girl, I have $23,000.
Your beard is pretty luxurious here, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I trimmed. Yeah, I definitely trimmed for this and got it cleaned up. I think at this time, I think I did have. I was doing an online comic strip. I think.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. It was.
Yeah, I was doing it with a friend of mine. It was called Rule 46.
Rule 46.
Because the whole idea was like the internet rules. Like if this exists or something. And so our thing is we made up Rule 46 Rule 47. It was like if it exists, there's a comic strip about it.
Right. Exactly.
And because it was like we kind of parodied pop culture and stuff in it.
It'll be fun.
And he can't draw Paul's comic because he is already working on the final installment of Bitter Technopolis, setting up for episode 4. Ha! And I had forgotten, but we actually reshot this scene as well. In the original version, you were in the chairs, some were standing, some were sitting, and it was just difficult to sort of get everybody in the frame. So we redid it, and I just said, okay, well, just everybody will just be standing up, and it'll be easier to get everybody in frame.
My eyes are closed for a good way too long at the end of that my line there. I'm like,
and that was meant to vaguely explain why none of these people are at work midday on a Wednesday.
Like we're all together. Let me walk away.
Friends exactly. Never explain that. We don't have to explain it.
And here he comes, evil incarnate, played by the incomparable Kevin Thrasher, Reggie McSorley. And watch here in a second when it cuts to the aisle. Nate Dietz is so little in this shot. You should see this kid now. He's like 6'9", in college. He looks like a linebacker.
I feel so young. I feel so old.
Yeah, we can do that.
Scared of Kevin Thrasher.
This is so great.
Aren't we all?
This is how I enter rooms now.
So I never wanted the show to be at least primarily about Stella's love life. I mean, if that that aspect kind of creeps into a couple episodes, and that's fine. But I never wanted it to be defined by who she was dating and if she was dating, and I just didn't want that to be a driving factor.
To be continued.
Dun, dun, dun.
This closing credits music that Andy did is my absolute favorite thing he did for the show.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Becky, that's right.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
Longbox. Did you actually know someone named Longbox?
No, I just made that up. Well, because that's you keep comics in either short boxes or long boxes.
No ladder holder credit.
No.
Thank you.
Sorry, Dan.
Jeff.
No credit. No credit.
Oh my god! So again, it's just so weird to watch that, and just how young we all are, and and just like I said, remember like, oh yeah, I think I held a ladder for this like one point in the scene, like just the stuff that does come back.
I was definitely almost passed out in the morning before shooting that episode. Exhausted.
Here's the meta
Oh yeah, I
joke.
mean you were really tired. I remember that you like fell asleep. I think before we started or during in between takes.
We were doing shows. We were like we were all in something, all up late and getting up early. And
but that's the meta joke there at the end. That was actually Jeremy Shore, who actually owns Titan, getting thrown out of his own store.
Yes.
That was awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah,
just kind of looking back and like discussing this. Just it was so much fun to be a part of this, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to meet all these cool people and just have fun.